Brandon Dubuy runs point on the equipment side for Tech football. There was a lot of travel for the Bulldogs this year. He'll take you through the ins and outs of getting the team to Delaware and then to Pullman, Washington in back-to-back weeks, and so much more, the nitty-gritty details and the day-to-day tasks that he's responsible for. Strap in, the Tech Drive starts now. I'm the voice of the Bulldogs, Kyle Schatzberger, and welcome to another edition of Tech Drive. Continuing with Assistant AD for Equipment and Operations, Brandon Dubuy. He is the man, the myth, the legend behind so many things that operate with the Louisiana Tech football team and taking a team on the road. We'll get into all of that and more. Happy holidays, man. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. Have you been enjoying the week or two, I guess, of a reprieve in many ways?
Yes and no. Like I was saying a little while ago, it was nice to, catch your breath, but at the same time, knowing you got a bowl game to prep for and just not knowing what game you're going to. So, work's coming, but there's no getting ahead of it till about now that we know where we're going.
Well, let's start there. So the Independence Bowl news is out. That'll be on December 30th. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff, Independence Stadium in Shreveport. More information can all be found on LawTechSports.com. There's even an alumni tailgate from 10 to 12 at the Ag Building on the State Fairgrounds. Again, LawTechSports.com if you want more information. But knowing the bowl destination now, how much of a relief is that now the real work can begin in preparation for the 30th?
Yeah, dude, it's easy, especially with it being in Shreveport. I mean, easiest bowl location we could have had.
Yeah.
Just right down I-20, super easy.
Yeah, short drive is not the worst thing, considering all the travel that you have been the mastermind of in many ways, covering 4 different time zones throughout the year on the football side, the back-to-back weeks with Delaware and Washington State. We'll dive deeper into that, but I want to start with your journey and coming to Ruston, because this is year 1 for you. You came aboard in January,
yep.
right? Got your undergrad at LSU, kinesiology degree, worked on the equipment staff there. Most recently, you were at South Carolina. How would you describe, though, year 1 in Ruston, working for Sonny Cumbie and Louisiana Tech football?
First reaction, breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, being in the SEC, both LSU, South Carolina, kind of knowing how to run a big program, but you don't have quite the pressure in, everybody being so uptight about, the most random things. At LSU, under Les Miles, nobody could have shirt tails out at practice. Nobody could be wearing anything but white socks at practice. And it's we're worried about that versus trying to win football games. Just let the process happen, right? But no, it's been awesome. I mean, we handled, honestly, if it wasn't for the 2 interns and the 6 student managers I have, I don't know if we would have been able to pull off the Delaware to Washington State trip. But yeah, without those guys, it wouldn't happen. So,
there's so many pieces we can pull apart. We'll try one thing at a time there. And I want the deets on Delaware and Washington State. We'll get there. But you taking this position, what confluence of events led to your arrival in Ruston?
My connection with Hunter over in the TAC.
Okay. Hunter and Geisman.
Yep, we worked together at LSU. So that connection and just seeing the fact that, I'm 30 minutes down the road from where I grew up. So, because I still have my dad living over there. So it's nice to be home around family again. And then just getting a chance to run the show the way I want to down in the equipment room.
You're a West Monroe native. Did you ever envision coming back up this way? You've had, you and I were talking before recording, coming up, sharing the elevator ride up together. You have a unique path. There's a lot of unknowns maybe at certain times, some long winding turns. We all have that. That's what makes this pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Never would have thought I'd be working in the equipment world. Honestly, I didn't even know about it until I started as a student manager at LSU. I had a roommate that was as a video student at LSU. So he told me about it, got hooked up there, and then from there it was never looked back. That's what I wanted to do.
So it was a roommate that got you interested?
Mm-hmm.
So you never, because that was a question of mine. How do you get started in this field? And it's
Dude.
not like, for me as a broadcaster and as the voice of this university, like I knew very young, hey, I want to be a play-by-play guy. I want to
Mm-hmm.
be the voice. I'm watching games through a different lens. I'm listening to all these people that have had such a great influence on me. It's not like you were, making orders as a little kid or counting the amount of shoulder pads needed to get on an equipment truck.
Oh yeah, no, like it was, growing up playing high school football. Like you have like your routine, right? You go wake up, go to school, you got practice in the afternoon, like you have that routine, that structure, and then you get to college, you're just a regular student. You got class from, I don't know, 8 to 10. What do you do the rest of the day? Sit
Yeah.
around, play video games. I mean, you're a college student. You're not studying all day.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
But like I just wanted that route, like a structure of some sort. And my roommate was like, "Hey, you might want to check this out. You might be interested in it." I was like, "What exactly do they do?" He's like, "Essentially, you run practice." Like, okay. I mean, I could handle that. I know football. I can pull some dummies around the field. Like that's easy. Yeah, I got hooked up and was a volunteer for a semester, and from there it was go.
So what were all those responsibilities when you say run practice? And this was, so you graduated in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
But your work started before that, while you were going through your undergrad.
Mm-hmm.
What were all the things that you were responsible for, and how ultimately did that prepare you now for the role that you have today with Tech?
So as a student manager, back when I was down at LSU, every student manager had a position group they're responsible for. So like quarterbacks, running backs, right? Each position. I happen to be the only one with two positions, technically, special teams, and then whatever position group the special teams coordinator was helping out with, which every year that changed. My first year it was corners, then it was outside linebackers, then it was middle linebackers. So like it's kind of all,
Yeah.
but special teams is the big one because, I mean, you've been out at practice. Special teams you're not just handling the specialist. It's the legitimate special teams drills. And our special teams coordinator at the time liked to use essentially a playground of dummies and pop-ups and whatnot. So you're reading diagrams, setting things up, telling other student managers, hey, I need you to set this up here, set this up there, shoot the jugs machine. That's always fun.
Yeah.
You go out pre-practice, set it up, you have it dialed in to shoot where it needs to shoot. You go out there for practice, time comes, wind changes directions, so you're getting yelled at. Oh, why didn't you come out and set it up beforehand? But, but no.
It's a lot different here. Now that you mention it, I hadn't even thought of that. Like, it is not a playground of dummies. Certainly, that's not Dan Sharp's way of approaching special teams.
No, Sharp is great to work with, special teams wise. First thing I asked him was, how do you run special teams here? He's like, oh, dots and that's it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
But no, as a student, like on top of setting things up, handling your position group, spotting balls at practice, it's also, taking care of laundry pre and post practice, decaling helmets. Like every student is assigned a certain number of helmets. You got to have those decaled, ready to pack the truck, depending on what day the game is and whatnot. Taking care, like packing player bags, so like their helmets, shoulder pads, cleats, so on and so forth.
There's so many things I hadn't even considered, and I'm sure our listeners and viewers feel the same. I mean, you think about it, it's getting done, but like even in preparation for this interview, I'm like, oh yeah, the helmets. That's a fascinating aspect of it because there's multiple helmets. There's a blue shell that's used on one, but then you have the red, you have the white. How long does that process take in getting the helmets ready throughout the week? Because they'll practice with the one that's not going to be worn during game week. Okay.
Yeah. Luckily, we have two different helmets, two different colors, so it's easy. You can, like you just said, split. Have a practice one, a game week one. It just depends. Like, I got a senior, so it takes him, I'd say maybe 20 minutes max to do a helmet. Like
to do one helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we don't do helmets the exact same way we did at LSU, but obviously it's different because theirs is like a yellow shell. They buff polish, so you got to take every decal off, de-glue, buff polish, redo the whole thing. Ours are painted, so it's a little bit easier. You do it the first time, and then you're just replacing decals if they're really beat up. But I'd say it'll range anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes per helmet.
Okay.
Unless we're using the helmet covers. Those are a little bit more challenging because you got to take the whole thing apart, put the cover on, put everything back together.
Taking apart like the face mask and
face mask, and then like on the F7s, you got the stabilizers down here on the side, which is that little white piece.
Okay.
That you see like on the outside. So yeah, a little more work to put those.
And that's like trying to fit on like a piece of spandex onto a body part that wouldn't even fit it. I mean, I would assume it's pretty tight, and you're trying to wrap that thing. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to the game on Delaware. At Delaware, November 8th, more than 1,200 miles. What day did the equipment truck leave Joe IA Stadium?
It left, I want to say Wednesday evening.
Okay. And the drive, I believe it was a little more than 18 hours from here to the Stadium of the Blue Hens. 2 drivers?
Yeah, 2 drivers.
Okay.
Let me take that back. Thursday morning.
Thursday morning.
Thursday at 8.
So they went straight through 18 hours.
Yep.
2 drivers. That's a good way to split it, though.
Yeah.
That makes sense, right? That's legal, per se. They can get some rest.
You plan, it's 18 hours, but you also got to give a little leeway for, brakes, gas, so on, traffic, the unknowns. I planned for 24.
Okay. After the game, the equipment truck, and we'll get into what actually all goes on the equipment truck, but I think the getting from A to B is kind of the headliner here. After the game, the equipment truck did not return to Ruston.
Correct.
Instead, booked it west of Pullman, Washington. How long was that drive?
Oh, to be honest, I didn't even look it up.
I've got it. I was quizzing you. Almost 2,600 miles, more than 38 hours on the road. So did you plan for 48, 2 days?
No, I planned for, let's see, we finished the game roughly, 6-ish Eastern?
Yeah, it was an early game, so yeah.
So I just gave them, from the time we left, so by the time the plane took off, it was probably closer to like 8 to 9 Eastern. As long as they were in Pullman by Friday at 9 a.m. Pullman, Pacific time.
Yeah. They had plenty of time to figure it out.
Plenty of time. Because, I mean, like I said, unknowns of, having to cross the Rockies or whatever with snow, traffic. Take your time, get there safe.
Yeah, whatever it takes. And then there's practice, though, in between to account for. So I know I asked you that week or a week or two ahead of time, what does that mean for some of the, the clothing or the uniforms or some of the gear and the soft items, I think is how you explained it. Some things were flown back after Newark, right? What were some of those things?
Well, you had player bags, which include their helmets, shoulder pads, cleats, the linemen with knee braces, and then you have coaches' game clothes. You had player loops, and then you had jerseys, pants. I think that was it for that one.
When you get back from a trip, the washing of these items, because you mentioned this is something that's done after practice every day, right? Yep. In terms of practice items. When you get back from a long day of travel, is it right back to work and washing those things immediately?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So regardless of, whether it was Kennesaw, whether it was Delaware, Washington State, doesn't matter. Jerseys and pants always fly back.
Okay.
You wash those immediately. So that was normal for us. But, yeah, that was straight back to it. I mean, even like quick bus trips. As soon as we get back, player bags come off, unpack player bags, air it all out.
So let's talk about the most recent road game. We come from Springfield, Missouri. We bus that, close to 7 hours. You get back to the TAC, I think it was about midnight. It's right to the washing machine.
Yep. That was, we got back a little bit later. By the time we finished packing the truck, I think it was about 1:15, 1:30 we got back. Yeah. immediately brought down Jersey's pants, threw them in the wash, opened the trailer up, helmets, shoulder pads unpacked in player lockers, and then did as much as we could. As soon as jerseys and pants are done, air dry them, take a break. All right, boys, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Has anybody ever asked you this many questions about the amount of that goes into the travel, the
No,
equipment truck? I mean,
no,
this is awesome.
I don't think so.
So how long after the game goes final? Let's talk about Missouri State.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take to pack that truck up then and then leave?
Each setup is different. So times are kind of different. Their setup was a little unique because the way the team came in and out of the locker room.
Are we being polite?
Yes.
For their unique setup.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, it didn't help with the weather either,
No.
which made things even more challenging on us. But no, like the way that the team came from the buses up past the trailer, they had to go upstairs.
Okay.
All our trunks you cannot carry upstairs.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't realize any of this. So
So we had to go all the way down to the far end of the stadium to get up and out the gate of the stadium to load the trailer. So it took a minute because we had to push everything. Once the game was over, we had to push everything that was on the field down to the far corner, wait for the green light from Missouri State that they were done in their corner, so we'd start staging stuff to put on the trailer. And then it was 15 minutes after the game ended that we could move our 18-wheeler trailer down to that far end before we could start trying to pack stuff up.
when I showed up, because I always get there early because of radio, we're there 2 hour and a half before kickoff is when we go on the air. We're there 2 hours ahead of time. So, for that game, I think it was 9:30, 9:45 maybe, we had showed up and I saw the trailer. It was on the press box side, on the home side of the stadium is where I think it was parked initially. Was that where it was, or had it already been
No,
moved
it was
at that
on
time?
the.
It was on the visiting side?
Yeah,
Okay,
it was on the
at that
visiting
time.
side right outside the locker room. Yeah.
It's a good looking trailer though, is it not? It
Uh,
pops. It's good. I love it. How did the rain impact that game? So how much more difficult does you and your team's lives become?
Luckily, it wasn't a downpour. Luckily, because when it's a torrential downpour, everybody wants to try to stay dry, and a towel only lasts so long in a downpour. No, it wasn't too terribly bad. I mean, it was the cold and the rain and the wind all snowballed together to make it just miserable outside. But we had a good game plan going in as far as like how to attack it. I was going to handle the coaches with their rain gear, with their thermals and whatnot. And then I had two guys out in the locker room, just player only, whether it's thermal tights, thermal tops, rain gloves for the quarterbacks, taking visors off of helmets because guys don't like to have to keep wiping them once they're wet all the time. Just your normal stuff.
The manifest involved in such a trip. That's the word I'm using. I don't know if that's what you refer to it, but it's all mesmerizing. I'm curious on all these details. I know you have it down to exact science because you have to. It's your job. And maybe not. Maybe like you're like me, where like your process has become more and more refined, with each game that goes by, but you have, certain structure that you're leaning into. What kind of manifest is involved in traveling everything you need for this small army that we're moving each and every week on the road?
Well, like in terms of packing the trailer, it's like trainers they'll ask me what day is the trailer leaving? And like a Thursday night, for example, right? So they'll get their stuff on usually Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning. And then once they're done, then we'll put what we need on the trailer, and leaving off like obviously helmets and shoulder pads that we're wearing at practice on a Wednesday, jerseys, game loops, and coaches, because I've been traveling early to get to the stadium Friday mornings. And I'll get to the stadium Friday mornings, knock out just about all that, depending on the setup, before the rest of my staff gets there when they travel with the team. But, Wednesday after practice or Thursday after practice, we'll finish packing everything else, player bags, coaches, loops, uniforms and whatnot. Yeah, it's all
When we say player
all there.
loops, describe what that means to the uninitiated.
Okay, so a player, we have practice loops, we have game loops. But on a game loop, you got typically some sort of compression shirt, either compression shorts or the long tights that players wear under their pants, padded girdles, you got socks, you got game gloves. Let's see. Some guys might wear like a loose baggy t-shirt. Some guys like might have a particular pair of compression shorts from like the training room to help with any kind of leg injury. Trying to think what else.
I have had a
sometimes you
front,
see like random stuff on
yeah,
there.
I've had a front row seat to this because it's different traveling with men's basketball than it is for football, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not the
100%.
battleship that we are trying to maneuver and navigate with the football team. But yeah, I've seen with basketball those player loops and everything that they need for practice or for a game. So I'm aware, but I know this is like terminology that folks, again, inside
Oh,
baseball,
yeah.
inside the headset right here, want people to understand what we're talking about. When a guy decides not to wear sleeves in the weather that we had at Missouri State, do you look at them sideways and like ask them, are you sure? Like, do you not want a long sleeve? Okay.
No, I was out there wearing shorts, man.
Okay. Yeah. No, you are a big shorts guy. You are. I can appreciate that. You bring up the athletic training, the sports medicine side. I mean, Evan Dutrieve, the associate AD for sports medicine, there's got to be a lot of collaboration on that end of it. So they always, you said like Tuesday, normally they reach out. Their stuff kind of goes on first. But how often are you communicating with Evan on making sure he has everything on there?
Me and him talk like daily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're hand in hand, like, because, I mean, even not just packing the truck and whatnot, but like, say a guy injures his shoulder, hey, so-and-so needs a harness on his shoulder. Okay, well, he tells me, and then I grab his shoulder pads, get the harness from Evan. We throw it on his shoulder pads. All right, good to go. So, I mean, we talk daily.
Yeah. What about this is something we hadn't touched on at all, and I might be totally off base here, but the comm system, I feel like kind of falls under your purview in a way. Okay,
that's
all right.
too. Yep.
Just making sure. So the communication between all the coaches, with their headset, you got everyone on the sideline, you got the coaches box, the green dot to the individual players too, with the radio communication in their helmet, which shuts off at a certain point, 15 seconds, right? Yeah, I should know that. Just making sure I'm not off base, but that very much falls on your plate. So how stressful is that, dealing with that? Because I feel like as a radio guy, we can deal with some wireless issues, sideline, whenever we have it, and technically it can be a different animal sometimes.
I will say my first game, I was very, very nervous about just all of it because I'm a little OCD, which in my line of work, I think is fine, except for you might drive yourself absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's stressful, but I mean, working with Coach Com, the unique thing with them is they have a spreadsheet of like, I don't know how many schools of as far as like the connections on the ground, because you have to plug in not just a power source, but you're also connecting like dry pair cables to the wall on the field and also up in the press box. So you can see what you're getting yourself into in terms of a setup. Are we going to potentially have issues? Does it look brand new? So you,
right,
for the most part, have an idea.
Yeah.
As long as you look at that, or you can reach out to whatever team's equipment guy and be like, has anybody had any issues ahead of time?
Yeah.
Instead of just blindly showing up.
Yeah. Similar us on the radio side, I might reach out, or I will reach out to the opposing radio guy, try to get an idea of what the booth looks like, what kind of gremlins or issues, might we face, what have other teams, radio crews experience. So like, yeah, that's similar. I'm picking up what you're putting down there, and I would imagine, that the anxieties around what could go wrong, it's got to be the most stressful part, though, in a lot of ways, right? Like, what is the worst part? It's the best part because you have an amazing job, but what keeps you up at night? Is it the comm stuff?
Oh, that's a tough. Honestly, it depends on the time of year.
Okay.
I'd say in terms of day to day, it would probably, did all the laundry get put out in correct lockers? But as far as like games, I would probably say, yeah, the coach comm stuff is probably the most stressful because there's so much like unknown to it. Like you set it up right, but it still might randomly just cut out,
Mm-hmm.
or a coach could flip channels without meaning to flip channels. They could hit a button to turn their mic off and they don't know it. They could throw it and break it.
Yep.
I mean, there's so many variables to it that, yeah, it's.
Yeah, and you got to reverse engineer it on the fly, and
Oh
it's,
yeah,
that's
you just adapt and overcome, man.
so adapt or die, as Brad Pitt Moneyball would say.
Mm-hmm.
The locker room setup. I love the little tweets and social media stuff that the equipment staff puts up. Who handles that? Like the social
I'm not
media
gonna
stuff.
tell you who does.
Okay, it's secret.
That's a secret.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm glad I asked a question you couldn't answer. At least I wouldn't be doing my job otherwise. I love that though, and the time and care that's put into the locker room setup. That's beautiful, and I would think the ones that you have that work underneath you, they enjoy that part of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it were up to them, we'd do it at 3:00 on a Friday, but it doesn't always work like that. But no, I mean, they put in the work, and I appreciate everything they do for me because, like I said earlier, without the student managers, dude, me and my 2 interns would be up here till midnight every night just on the day-to-day stuff, let alone having to pack for road games or even setting up lockers for a home game. So yeah, I mean, they're awesome.
2 interns and
Correct.
Okay, and then how many others?
6 student managers.
6 student managers, 2 interns. I mean, the dedication that they show to want to come out and commit to the process and be a part of all of this. Like you said at the start, you wouldn't be able to have the operation you have without them. It's got to remind you in a lot of ways too of when you got your start at LSU, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's why I tell the guys all the time. Like, I remember what it was like for me when I was a student. I mean, going back to just me traveling early to set up Fridays by myself on road games. Like, I remember what it was like being a student. It was different with my time as a student at LSU. We'd bus overnight, get to the stadium at 8 a.m., but you're talking like 8 student managers, 1 full-time equipment manager, all the video students, all the athletic training students. So you got a full bus 5 there at 8 a.m. to unload the trailer, set up the locker room. You're in and out 2 hours.
Yeah.
And now, if I weren't traveling early and traveling with the team, with the rest of my crew, we'd be getting to the stadium between 6 and 7 and then do that whole process. And they don't get cut loose till like 9 at night. I was like, If I have the option, I'm going to try to take care of them on road trips to where 7 o'clock, all right, boys, you'll go have fun.
Yeah, really cool. Have we missed anything about the equipment? Are you making Gatorade orders, or is that Dave Scholes?
No, that is not me. I want to say that's Evan in the training room.
That's probably Evan. Yeah, that would make
Gatorade,
sense.
Yeah.
So what do the next couple of weeks look like for you as we gear up for the Independence Bowl? You're ordering merchandise too, right?
Oh yeah. Everything you see the team and coaches wear, that typically comes through us unless they're going and buying their own stuff. But yeah, like as soon as we got win number 6, we knew we were going to bowl game. Started looking at Adidas to see what kind of inventory they had. Picked out a travel suit, some other gear for the team and staff and whatnot. Got all that ordered. Earlier this morning, just about everything else has come in from Adidas. So we were over there inventorying, debag, detag, get ready to take over to get screen printed. But still got to get like bag tags designed to put on backpacks. Oh, let's see. We still got to do name tags, like locker room name tags. Went for over at the game. Dude, it's never ending. Like there's always something that you're preparing for. We got the site visit tomorrow, so should get bowl patches, and then that'll be on Wednesday duty to get bowl patches put on jerseys and whatnot. So
Okay, I'm going to put a pin in that right there. Hang on. If people need their merch to go to this game on December 30th, don't go to Brandon Dubuy. Make sure you go to Patton's, all right? Patton's downtown, Patton's Western Wear as well, styles and brands for your everyday life, the job, game days, any occasion, of course, the Independence Bowl on December 30th, a 1 o'clock kick. Our network coverage will start at 11:30, including the outdoorsman in use, certainly for Patton's Western Wear. You can find it all when you shop locally at Patton's, a North Louisiana tradition since 2007. So these jersey patches, a couple more minutes with you, Brandon. How long does that process take? So you're going to retrieve those physical patches,
Correct.
hopefully from the site visit, okay? I don't want to break down the third wall entirely of when this is being recorded and when the podcast drops, but you get that. How long does the process take to get all those on the jerseys?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I'm not the one actually sewing
Who
them.
does it?
Is
that another secret?
Yeah.
Okay.
We take them somewhere and they sew them on for us. And
yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like we got any kind of repairs throughout the season on jerseys, we take it over to them and they fix it up for us.
Okay. Awesome. I think we've covered the entire gamut, man. I'm excited for the Independence Bowl. It's in our backyard. Given all the travel, like we've talked about already, like it's refreshing in a way, I think, to have something this close to home and be an easy trip and a great celebration, I think, of what this team has accomplished this year.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be excited to play over in Shreveport. I mean, like you said, easy travel. They get to relax. I mean, they always got bowl events. So.
And the day after, I know Sonny spoke at his press conference saying, I think the plan is to go up on the 26th for the team and have a couple of days. That may change, but either way, it's after Christmas. It's before the new year. You're going to have a chance for a lot of fans to even make that trip too.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be awesome. What's your favorite part about the holidays?
Oh, being able to go sit in the woods.
Okay. All right. I like that.
Honestly.
You just reminded me, I got my hunter safety training course that I have bought and purchased. So I'm going to be out in a nearby woods before you know it. John Corley has talked me into doing that. One of our big time fans. So I appreciate him. But I might need a few pointers because I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Big outdoors guy, man. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, hopefully you can get out. Maybe after the Independence Bowl, right?
Most likely.
Yeah. After the Independence Bowl, take some time off for yourself. You've earned it, man. I appreciate you coming on Tech Drive.
Yeah, no problem.
That's Brandon Dubuy. Appreciate him so much. He runs lead on the equipment, everything for this Tech football team and helping to get them around. The AD for equipment and operations, Brandon Dubuy. For Jack, Carson, Kyle Cavanaugh, GB, I'm the voice of the Bulldogs, Kyle Schasberger, wishing you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We're going to take a couple of weeks off. We will repopulate some content over the last couple of weeks, put it into your feeds here across the Christmas and New Year's holidays. We'll be back after the new year. Go Dogs.